Hi guys, my name is Brenna Nyabeki. You can call me Shori for brief, and welcome to another episode of The Healing Hearts. Thank you so much for liking, commenting, subscribing, and sharing. And I'm still doing this. If you still want to share your story, please, my number runs on the video down here. So feel free to reach out to me so that we can talk about grief and just create awareness on this thing called grief, and let's just share our journeys together. So, on today's episode, I have known this lady, I think, for 8 years now, 10. Yeah. We met in Kisumu and we were doing something, and she was our amazing service provider. I'll just let her introduce herself. So, over to you.
Thank you so much, Brenda, for having me. My name is Leah Njeri Jahe. Yes. What else do you want to know about me?
If you're okay, what you do.
Oh, great.
We're here to patrol. I'm here. If you don't talk about your business, I will. By force,
You'll
by
be
fire.
mad.
So mad.
All right. My name is Leah Njeri Jahe. As I've mentioned, I run a juice bar. On that side, I'm called Mama Juice.
Yeah.
I have run a juice business for 13 years now. It's in Kisumu, and in Nairobi we also attend to events. Besides that, I do a few other things. I help people find accommodation through Airbnb. I help oversee events, and I find things. Let's just say you're looking for things and you wonder who to call. I am.
You're the person to
Yes,
call.
I'm a multi-plug on that.
Okay, anything else you'd want the viewers to do?
About
Anything,
me?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm a mom.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm a mom to a boy who's going to stand 14 years this year. It's incredible. I mean, it's insane. Yeah.
How is it?
Parenting is a roller coaster. I will say. I will tell you that for free. And it's an experience you can't. You have to experience it to know, because it's different for everyone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about the healing heart. So here we talk about grief. It doesn't have to be loss. It doesn't have to be loss of a loved one. We've had people who talk about job losses, romantic relationship losses, friendship losses.
Oh, those ones are crazy.
Yeah. So we talk about grief in all perspectives. So feel free. Hapa tunapiga tu story. It is not something very serious. Hapa tunapiga tu story. We cry and laugh in equal measure. So feel free. So if you get overwhelmed, just feel free to tell us to pause, take your time, then tutaendelea. Sawa? Okay. So let's start. Where do we begin from?
You must have a story. Let's just start it from where it begins. And I'm okay for the viewers. I'm such a tear baby. Just in case it doesn't coming out, contain yourselves on your end. I was born in Eldoret, but then we came to Ugunja when I was very young. I guess when I was 1 year old, and I went to primary school there. So, as you see me, I am a village girl to the core. It's just that the integration happened well. I went to
Dunga Hills.
My God,
Zevi, show these heels.
Penny jokes as again. So I went to Nyasanda Primary School for my class 1, class 2, class 3. Then proceeded to Maseno Girls Boarding Primary School from class 4 to class 8, and that is between the year 2002 to 2006. I come from a complete family of a mom and a dad. I am the first of 3 siblings. I have a brother and a sister behind me. I'd say life was normal. Life was just running smooth, as we all know. Baba, Mama. Yes, a complete household. You never see anything ever disrupting that routine. Until I joined Maseno Girls, as I said, in 2002. I was in class 4. Then class 5, during the August holiday, my dad gets sick. Yeah. And I remember the last time I saw him, he was sat on the seat and he was very sickly and he was trying to brush his teeth. So my mom brought him a toothbrush and a basin where he brushed his teeth from. And I just knew then, you know how they say you know? Yeah. I just knew then, something is really off, and it's really, really off. So that day he was picked by a pickup that has a covering on the back to take him to hospital. So he was taken to Busia hospital. And that was the last time I saw him. Yeah, that is August 2020, 2003. Yes, 2003. I was 8 years old. Grief is a very interesting thing.
What do you mean when you say that was the last time you saw him?
Because once he went to hospital,
Oh,
that was it.
that was it.
Yeah, I really did try to get my mom to go with me during the visits so I can see him. I was his.
Oh.
I'm actually a daddy's girl.
Oh, you are his favorite?
Yes.
Ah, okay.
We used to take lots of trips with him, and I don't know. There's just a way when your father loves you as a girl, it hits differently.
Oh.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know.
Yeah?
I wouldn't know.
Yeah, it hits differently. So when that is disrupted, you are left in limbo. So August 2 or 3, my dad goes to hospital and he never comes back. But something weird happens. The day that he passes on, which was 15th of August, in that previous night, I had a dream of him dying. Yes.
The very day.
Yes, it was like his last goodbyes to me. That very morning when I was woken up by a cry from my mom's room, and I knew. So when I was trying to ask, he was with my uncle is the one who used to sit him at the hospital. So when they were trying to break the news to me, I kind of knew. But then they also, when you're a kid, you're cushioned to be told certain news. When you lose a parent as a child, when you lose a parent as a grown-up, because I've experienced both, is very different. Okay. It's very, very different. And sometimes when I look back, I think my dad knew, because I never understood why I was taken to boarding school. Yeah, because the narrative back then was, if you've been taken to boarding school when you're young, your parents don't like you. Until when I was like, no, that can't be my baba. Yeah, I'm sure baba nalipenda.
Yeah, he'd do better than that.
Yeah, but now in retrospect, I think he just knew. He knew he wasn't gonna be around for long. So was he taking measures to safeguard me? I think so, and that was quite brave of him. Yeah. So my dad passes on, and it's the whole reality gets warped. Yeah.
So allow me to ask you, when your dad gets sick, was it like he had been sick and then this time in August it got worse, or it just came like, pap, he was sick, taken to hospital, then dies? How was it for you? And while he's sick, is your mom telling you anything? Like telling you, okay, and since you're the firstborn, especially now since you were the firstborn.
So I had never seen my dad sick. Yeah, then again, I was also 8 years old.
Yeah.
There's only so much I could compute and retain in my memory. I didn't see my dad sick. That day is when I saw him very sick. When my mom brought him toothbrush and he was brushing in a basin and the towel was wrapped up on his shoulder. He was sat on the table that is just on the seat that was facing the window. I mean, in Ugunja, we had already moved to our home. Okay. My dad alibai shamba huko akajenga, so tukaishi hapo hivi opposite Ugunja Inn. Yeah.
So that was the only time.
Yeah. I had never seen him sick.
And that was it.
Yeah, it was crazy. Yeah. It's so crazy because he was very sick. And then I never saw him again.
So and the next time you've seen him is now when you have to like burial and everything.
Yeah, I had to see him in a coffin. At my grandmother's place. Yes. Yeah.
Your siblings. Okay, your mom. Does your mom explain to you, Ama? They're just like you guys are still young. You'll get the hang of it when you grow up.
And my mom is also rested, but with time, I have extended her some grace, and it has allowed me in a very heavy way to be able to forgive her. In 2 or 3, my mom was 30. So I am older than what my mom was now. Knowing what I know now, clearly she was a child.
Okay, she was also just figuring this
she was.
thing out.
Well,
Yeah.
yes, you know, when you're a child, you always think your parents are really big people.
Yeah, like they should have figured everything out.
Yeah, and I never really used to understand why she couldn't let me go with her to the hospital. So then I think one of the adults around told me, always ingia kwa hiyo ward ya watu wakubwa. Yeah. Yeah. So, and that's the crazy part about grief. When somebody dies in the community, every other person, every other facet of him has lost someone.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's you who's lost a dad. There's your mom who's lost a spouse.
Yeah.
There's someone who's lost a son. Someone who's lost a brother.
Friend.
Someone has lost a friend. Someone has lost an employee. Someone has lost a boss. Yeah. But when you're young, you can't process all that. Yeah. And schools open. Life has to continue. Yeah. And everybody expects that you process things as fast as they do, which is not usually the case.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I tend to remind people we do not know enough about people to fasten them with grief. I grieve up to today. You know, you'd think 23 years later.
I tell people it's been 10 years, but there are days I'm just like, wow, I want my mother.
Yesterday.
I want my mother.
Yeah.
You know, so it never gets. I don't know. As before life goes on, your father is gone. So I can imagine. So you're there. You're just seeing things are being done in the compound. Things are being shifted.
And you know, for us Kikuyus, we bury very fast.
Oh yeah.
We don't have time. So, you know, you think it's a joke. It's maybe he's gone somewhere. He'll just come back.
Yeah.
You know. And it just turns out he never comes back.
After how long?
Baba alikufa 15th August. I think alizikwa 20th August.
That's 5 days.
Yeah.
Si vitu zilifanyika mbio mbio.
Alikuwa alizikwa makaburini, so.
Oh, not in your home?
No.
How is that for you? Okay.
It's crazy because maybe I will understand why it's done, but I feel like it's like you're being discarded. Yeah. I probably should. There's a whole logic to it. For me, I remember when I turned 18 years old, I was already living by myself. I walked 10 kilometers to Makaburini just to go tell my dad, hey, sasa baba, msichana yako
nimekuhata.
Msichana yako mdogo amekuwa mtu mkubwa saizi. I am 18 years old now. Yeah.
So Makaburini where? Uko is
in Eldoret, Yamombe. Yes. Maybe I should say my father, his name was Joseph Njahe. Ama Baba Njeri kwa watu Ugunja. Yeah, he used to trade in hides and skins. Alikuwa anauza ngozi. Yeah. Back then, the community of Kikuyus in Luo Nyanza was very small. We were hardly even 10 families. So ukisema Baba Njeri, kuna mtu atakumbuka. Oh, ule mzee wa ngozi. Oh, ule alikuwa anapika. Oh, ule, you know. Okay. Yeah. So, yes, there's that. And then you have to go back to school. Yeah. And I think your reality actually get warped. At some point I had to convince myself I am in a video game.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because you go back to school and Maseno girls I think had a lot of orphans also. And you had people who were total orphans and there were those who were partial orphans. And you'd see the treatment. Yeah.
It was different?
It was always a mixed feeling.
Okay.
Every subsect of people would react differently. So you'd have the orphans amongst themselves, they would sometimes seclude themselves because it gets really heavy, you know.
Is it that I know in school we used to have, there are times the teacher would just walk in and give us, we are filling in some forms. If you're from a single parent family, raise up your hand. Was it like, because I remember, because also I remember in primary, that's when it used to hit me, oh shit, I don't have a father, because then I had lost my dad. So it was like a constant reminder that Brenda, you don't have a father. So for you, but you see for us, it was only when the teacher wanted some information. So when you say you guys had like orphans hanging out by themselves and
Yeah.
the passion. Was it something that it feels like it was a support group or something at such a young age?
I think, I think so, because, again, but I'm going to use this line very lightly, misery likes company.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's, in this case, in reference to familiar loss, yeah, because you'd cry a lot in school. Because you've left school ukiwa na wazazi, then you go back to school without one parent. You have people who will always want to ask, kuliendaje, nini ilifanyika, you know. And I think class 5 was tough for me. Class 5, class 6 was very tough for me, because you have to grieve. You're a child, you can't compute everything. Classes, yeah, you have to show up for classes, and part of grief comes out as rebellion, but it's not that. Alafu kuna tu watu walikuwa wanapenda kuchongoa ma-orphans, wanasema napenda kulia sana. Sasa mimi sikuendaka nipatikane shule sana.
Brutal.
So tulikuwa kwa military school.
Your school was brutal, man.
Brutal I wouldn't have chosen any other ways.
Oh, really?
Maseno Girls is one of the best things that happened to me.
To you?
But this is crazy. You have to find people from our school. They will tell you the craziest of stories.
From
Cohort from 202 to 206.
It was crazy.
When you listen to people's stories, hata walikuwa wanasema afadhali wewe. It was crazy. So we would have moments you would even as an orphan, unakaa kando.
Acha tu ninyamaze. You guys are safari.
So you didn't want to be seen to cry a lot. So I had pockets of places where I would go, just hide and cry. You know, we had very big trees, big indigenous old trees.
Because I went to Martin University, so I know the school. So I'm just like,
with large trunks.
Yeah.
So
you go there and cry.
Ulikuwa unaenda unajificha huko break time.
Ukimaliza unarudi nikaa.
Watu wakuoni saa ya kukunywa uji, because we used to be given porridge during the 10 o'clock break. And there are people who always notice. You know, sometimes you think you're an island, but there's someone. I tend to call them like angels. They always watch you. And the most disrupting thing about grief, it's a vortex. It can really suck you in.
It does.
It sucks you in, where you can either remain hollow, or it skates you. Yeah. What that experience has taught me over time is, in this life, there are only two people. You have kind people and unkind people. Hakuna watu wengine.
Hakuna in between.
Hakuna.
Yeah. So now, of course, there's a shift now in your life. You guys had visiting days and stuff.
Yeah, we did. Oh my gosh. Yes.
And now it has changed. Now it's just your mom.
Yeah, the times that she could come and the times she couldn't.
And your other siblings?
They were
also in boarding?
No, they stayed home because they were younger.
They were younger.
Yeah. I think my brother was 4, was it 5? My sister was probably 3.
Okay.
Yeah. So you have a widow with 3 kids. The other 2 are below 10 years, and then actually all 3 are below 10 years. Yeah.
Did you guys have a shift in terms of your life? I'm assuming, maybe you can tell us, when your dad was there, there's a certain life you guys had. Did you guys have a shift when he died?
Of course.
There was a shift.
There was a big shift. My dad, I tend to think of my dad as was a very hardworking person. Like I said, I don't know the other facets of his life, but all I saw about my dad, he was a very hands-on kind of person. So we were living in our own home. I think we had 3 cars. There was a pickup there that used to trade, and then we had a Nissan on the road. It went to Baraka. It went to So we lived a comfortable life. We had everything. You see, we had everything. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes, that did change a lot, and I think it's one of the reasons why it's hard for me to rest. Yeah, I wouldn't want to. I mean, if when life disrupts itself, I wouldn't want the turnaround time to be as long as what it took us, you know, because part of that was to be retained in the same school, and Mason Girls was a very prestigious school then, so to be retained in the same school, it means somebody else takes the burden of paying the school fees, yeah, and well, that comes also with its own trades off, yeah. I lived in so many homes. And the beauty of that, at least the silver lining of living in so many homes, you get to learn humans very intricately. Yeah, and once you become an orphan, it's like you become a marginalized person. You're overlooked, you are underrated, you are disregarded.
Yeah.
But when you're going through it, it's rough. But then it gives you time to move at your own pace. It gives you time to observe. It gives you time to grieve. Yeah, because hakuna mtu anakufikirianga.
I think mwambia tu the first when my mom died, and I think I've spoken about it. The first year after you've buried your loved one, people are checking up on you. People are on your case. People are how you are praying for you. Come visit me. But after that, everyone just moved on with their life. Whatever you're going through, you're just on your own totally. It's only either the first year or the first few months they'll be on your case. After that, utateseka. When you see, so this shift, did it mean you guys had to let go of some of your, because in Ugunja you guys had your own home, right? So people are taking care of you, so you have to go to their houses, stuff like that.
I think I had to live with other relatives just to ease the burden at home, which made sense, and I'm grateful to them for taking me in. There was otherwise wangesema huyo mama kana watoto wake walichukua.
Was it just you or had your siblings?
It was just me. My siblings, they stayed with my mom because they were younger, and my relationship with my mom was estranged for some time because she's grieving, I'm grieving, we're in the same space. We could never agree because I had a relationship with my father, a very strong, intimate relationship. Yeah. Whenever I talk to people, I say, whatever has kept me going all this while is the love my father had for me. It was for a short period of time, but it's enough to run me a lifetime.
Yeah, but it was deep. Like it was.
Mama independent.
Okay, it's nice hearing people see their daddy's girls. I never experienced it because my dad died, I think I was 1. So I even don't know how to. There's a time I don't know if I've said it on this podcast. There's a time my mom was seeing someone, and I remember my mom telling us. I like nowadays I think about it and I'm just like, hey, mama, what hell gonna tujaribu? My mom comes and tells us, this is so and so. You don't have to call him dad, just call him uncle.
Yeah.
I was just like, hey.
So already.
And then he's supposed to be like your father. Just jalelewa na baba. How do you expect me to now start behaving as like now I have a father? Now what should I do?
Yes.
Morning, dad. It was so strange. It was so strange for me as well. So,
as I said, so there was my life in school, and then there's my life at home. But I was never home.
Which is not one home.
Yeah, I was never home.
It's not one home.
Yeah, I never have one home.
So you're in different relatives. You're
in different homes. Let me say, I was in different homes. Different homes have different operations. I think I've gone to how many schools? I think I've gone to 6 schools.
In primary only?
No, primary school. No, primary, across the primary to high school, yes.
6 schools?
Yeah.
Really? Because of this thing of living with different relatives?
Because of the changes that come with losing a parent. Sometimes you have to be in different spaces, so that the wheel can keep running. Yeah, like I said, it was crazy. I don't think I'm ready to even unpack how crazy it was.
Okay.
What I did is I shut a lot of things that didn't serve me. I just shut them off. I forced myself to forget them. But hey, Manze, if there are people I will forever be grateful for in my life and will always remember them, and they're always overlooked, is the support staff in school. Hey, Manze.
They carried you through.
Hey, Maseno girls. Kuna watu walinishikilianga. It was
Support
the
staff.
manze, the guy alikuwa anakata firewood, watu wa jikoni. Wenye alikuwa anatupikianga uji. Those were used to be my friends. I feel like they really took care of me. They really...
Did you open up or they just found out?
They noticed.
Oh, they noticed. And they
noticed
want
how,
to know what's happening.
School setup, it's a whole social setup. They notice how isolated you are. They notice those moments when umeenda kujificha kwa mtu unafikiria kuna utakuona.
This is only kwa kadara. Oh yeah. Oh my god.
Anakuona too, so you used to have people. Hey, what do I don't think these people are
appreciated
enough.
The way they should.
And one of the reasons why I agreed to come on this podcast is because I think I owe life a debt of gratitude. And this is me saying thank you, because because they would see, do you know, you cry, you feel like the earth actually is opening and swallowing you. That's saying it's true. But unapata tunakwambia anakupea uji anakwambia shika. Kunywa. Usijali itaisha. Ni nzito tu sana juu wewe ni mtoto. Lakini itapita. Then they give you their story, you feel your heart is lightened. You be okay for like 3 days, 4 days, you sick back. Day 4 una sick back. So I think they also used to have just a community of them.
And decide to, I'm sure they're like, sasa, tunakama up na timetable ya kushughulikia Leah.
In school they used to call me Jerry. So, yeah. They used to, to support staff.
They carried
watu wenye naosha vyombo, the cooks, the servers.
Have you met them after?
No. I haven't been back to Maseno Girls since I left Maseno Girls.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I think also going back there, I need to go back there when I'm totally healed. Totally healed. I think I'm in a good space now.
Okay.
Because you step into a physical place where you've gone through so much. It unravels.
Yeah. Let's talk about now your siblings. Now the fact that now you're in different homes. How's your relationship with your siblings?
I normally have a very strange relationship with my siblings, and sometimes they don't understand me, but I'm also okay with it. Yeah. There's one, the weight of being a firstborn. 2, there's the weight of me have had an estranged relationship with my mom because of how we both had to grieve.
Yeah.
Then there's the expectations they have
of you,
which sometimes I just...
They're so unrealistic. Right?
Sometimes they can be very realistic. Have we had conflicts? Yes. I know I'm responsible for them, and I do what I can, but we don't have a close relationship.
Have you guys sat down and spoken about now your grief journeys?
I don't think we're there yet.
Or you're not yet there?
When we grow, there's a certain growth that comes with age.
Yeah.
So when that growth, especially with my sister, my younger sister, I think...
I'm Jeffika.
No. I feel, personally, as an elder sibling, I feel like there's part of her that still needs to grow to where she can see things outside of herself and personalized stuff. Until she gets there, we can't have a coherent conversation.
Yeah, makes So when does your mom is also the late, you mentioned?
Yeah, my mom passed on 11 years ago. She got sick for a while. For her, she got sick for a while. And as an adult,
How old were you?
I was 2015, I was what? I was 22. I was 22. Yeah. I think for my mom's passing, the bit that got to me is the part where you see someone waste away.
Okay.
Yeah? You see someone waste away, you can Google and you can see. Yeah. One time I was in the hospital with her and she got delirious, then I knew this is it. Yeah, this is it.
Is it? And by the time now she was dying, were you guys like, I don't know, were you guys like in a space where you were like, okay, this is my mom, I love her. Of course, we have our issues, but was there like a bond by the time she was getting sick and dying?
I just say it was strange.
It was strange.
It was strange.
Okay.
It was maybe, I think from my mom, I think as I experienced life as a mom,
You understand?
It's allowing me to heal some parts. Yeah, I realized it wasn't out of hate. The certain things happened, but then there are also other things we strongly disagreed on. I think my mom, siku moja tu tukikutana binguni.
Tapigana.
Kuna tu ile yes, I think what I would want to hear from her is like, hata ulikuwa mdogo. Yeah, I should have just let you be a child. Okay. And me just saying, you didn't have to treat me differently. I also lost him too. Yeah. And I wasn't a rebel. It's just I had to find my own voice and to find my own way to unshackle myself from everything. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because when your reality is warped, you need something that tethers you. And for me, as I mentioned, was the support staff in Maseno Girls. Yeah, those guys used to bring me back to earth. You know, you disappear in that vortex, Kabisa.
Yeah, you do, for sure.
And they remind you when you grieve for so long, you become hollow. Yeah, so you need, and this is the bit about grief, you need someone to keep you anchored to the world of the living. Yeah. Because most of the time you're in limbo and you're mostly on the other end of the spectrum where you want more time with the deceased and you keep playing scenarios with them.
Okay. I'm curious to just find out when your mom died, the burial preparations, were you involved?
Yeah, I was. I still have a scarf for today. See, this side was this side. This my cousins were preparing chapel at my grandmother's home, and the oil spilled on me. Oh, I should tell you how I came to hear about my mom's death. I was working in Sovereign Hotel, and Kisumu. Yes, my mom was in Eldoret Referral Hospital. And so I had asked permission from work. I went and see her. English.
Yeah.
Saw her, then came back. Then again, I was called. Her situation was critical. I had to go see her again. My uncle Izan who called me, but then they couldn't give me permission from work. I remember my then supervisor said, "There's nothing much you can do." There's not, which made sense. Because there's nothing much you can do. Your duty is waiting for you here. So
what do you mean there's nothing much you can do?
Hospitali anachungwa. I don't know. Whatever he said. Saya nasikuwa naweza ku. Nikamwambia my uncle wamesema siwezi enda akaniambia mpe simu. Supervisor akaniambia niende. Mimi kwa kijoa nasifikiri kuna kitu kimefanyika. So from Kisumu, when you're entering Eldoret, above Brookside, I called my brother. Ndio nimefika Eldoret. Mko wapi? Tuko nyumbani. mko nyumbani mmacha mama na nani kwa hospitali. Ati hakuna. Ati kwani yako wapi? Ati yako kwa mochari. That is what my brother told me.
On phone.
Yeah. So you didn't get to LD. So I just went straight to my grandmother's place. That's how we learned of my mom's death. And
does it mean your mom had already died by the time your uncle was telling you I'll be a supervisor?
Yeah, I think so. And they needed me to come. I think so, yeah.
So you get home, people are there already.
Yeah.
The true spirit of Africans.
Yes,
sure.
Which is I find it very commendable because how people group up and delegate and make sure there's...
It happened so immediately. I najiuliza kwani nyinyi watu mlikuwa mnajua ama mlikuwa mnajua na mtuambi? Cause mimi nakumbuka when my mom died, nafika mochari shushu wangu alikuwa Kisii asubuhi anafanya nini hapa na unanko zangu like watu mlitoka Kisii mshafika. I was just like it happened so fast. Najiuliza kwani mlikuwa wapi? Like were you waiting for the call or the text ndo mje hapa?
I think watu hujua, watu wakubwa wao hujua, and I would say this to young people: spend time around adults. There are things they know that you don't know yet.
I remember my grandmother said that morning alishtuka tu. Alisema tu alishtuka tu, akaamka akakaa, akafikiria hakurudi bed. So around, because my mom died around 5:30. So grandma says she alishtuka around 5 or somewhere around 5 and 6. So also she was awake up to 7.
Something disrupted her spirit.
So 7 she gets a call. She gets a call from my uncle. Then she asks my uncle, nani amekufa? That's the first thing she asked my uncle. So my uncle is on the other end anashanga, mama
Alishajua.
Niambie tu nani amekufa, niambie tu. Kasema sawa uji. Ukaenda ukamchukua, ukakuja na yeye. That's interesting. Like the fact that alishtuka akakaa awake from around, because alisema alishtuka around 4 something, so she was awake between 4 and 7. And so she really wanted to go back to sleep, but ilikuwa inakataa kabisa. So she just woke up, switched on the lights and sat. Tried reading the Bible with akakataa. So she was just awake. So she was just awake in her bed. Ako tu.
It's crazy. I mean, it's crazy. And as you grow, as part of healing, you understand. Kuna tulikuwa na jamii au onge wa jamii kwa sababu jamii they also doing their best.
Because it's politics to za hii time ya ku prepare for the burial. Kuna kuanga na politics 1 million. So I was actually having a discussion with another the other day, and I was just like, so we both he discovered something I did and he didn't know I had done it. So his dad, so what I did that time he did it recently. So he was like, hiya. It was a discussion with one of my uncles. Akaniambia uliongea naye? Nikamwambia na kunishow kama was just like at your time kulikuwa tuna drama mingi. People were just, there was so many rumors flying for me time ya mama yangu. There was so many rumors.
You always have those people who are the grapevine.
I was just telling people, Asha, sasa mnataka tufanyaje? Amekufa. Mnataka nitaomboleza ama it was too much. So my brother was like, hiya, you had that discussion? I was like, yeah, we had that discussion. So which is true, over the years you realize some of the things that were said or done that time, hata mwenye labda alisema ama alifanya hakuwa anajua kile na go on.
Hata hao labda too, they were dealing with their own complexities. And just like I said, grief is very interesting. Everybody grieves very differently.
Very differently, for sure.
And how that spills out to its immediate environment is also very different. Of which, me personally, what I would love to experience is, I'd love to experience 2 things. The fact that there's only so little I know about my dad. I would want everybody that ever interacted with my dad, I would find this very intimate and very healing to just write me a letter. Tell me something about my father. Like, give me, I want to have a Lego of letters that can help me picture
your dad.
Yeah, exactly who he was, you know. I think that would be very, very nice.
Some of your relatives, his side.
I don't. Well, they hardly ever talk much about him.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they hardly ever talk much about him, and maybe because they interact very differently. Yeah, they also interact very differently. So, I would want those who experienced my dad to just
tell you.
Write me a letter. Send me an email. You know, tell me a story about him. Yeah, so I can also have these eyes. I can see him through other people's eyes. Yeah,
that's interesting.
And the other thing is my younger self. I used to tell her a lot of stories, and talking about our experience, because that's all I can do. I can talk about my experience. Yeah, and in talking about my experience, I have come to learn that you cannot invalidate any other person's experience. Yeah.
True.
Yeah, you cannot invalidate any other person's experience because of how they've experienced it or how it has orientated them.
Yeah.
The story I told my young self then, I would want her to remember that I am proud of where we are right now. We are not fully whole. We'll probably, sometimes I just wish I can walk across the street and see my father, maybe.
You've never seen someone who looks like you?
I like tall, dark people.
Explains why.
Oh, my God.
Your father was tall and dark.
My baba was a descendant of giants.
So you and how has it been? Because now for you, your dad died when you were 8, and your mom died when you were 22. How can you compare the two journeys?
I would say this: when you're young, I will break it into 3 parts. When you're young, it's the first time you're experiencing everything in life. So a disruption in that, it changes your whole life, including your physiology. Do you know you grieve sometimes paka una change? Wala nakwambia uko tofauti because your physiology has orientated to your grief.
There's a time someone asked me if I was bipolar.
Unaweza chizi.
I was like, umeenda sana sijafika hapo bado.
There are people who used to know this. People used to know that the greatest way to mess with someone is not physical, it's the stories you tell them. So you have to be hearing people's stories and not burden yourself with it. Not burden yourself with it. So when you're experiencing, when I lost my dad at the age of 8, I experienced a lot. And thank God for the factors that I had that kept tethering me back to the world of the living, because I spent a lot of time in the living dead. Yeah? In the living dead. And once I realized that there are only 2 types of humans, the kind and the unkind, I told myself the day I will ever speak about this, there are 3 things I will wish on the people who are unkind. 1, I call them to consciousness. 2, I invoke the spirit of memory. 3, I invoke remembrance. Because the hardest thing you'll ever do in this life is to face yourself. You can do a tad bit to people, but where you bring yourself to books, that is the hardest journey you'll ever take. So to the people that were unkind, that is all I ever wish for them. Those 3 things. That they each experience the unraveling of consciousness, that they each bestowed with memory, and each of them remember the sequence of things. Yes. Yeah, because we won't lie. Utapitianga vitu unasema wewe ni mdogo unasema kuna kitu unaweza fanya. Unaambianga Mungu atanipigania. Then you stop being bitter. You just wish them. I think consciousness is the best thing you can ever wish anyone. Yeah. Because wanaamka, wanafunguka akili, wanafunguka macho.
For sure it takes time for
my God. Me, I believe in the power of the word of the tongue. as you command it, so it shall be executed. So losing me as a young person, there's a whole period of grief. Yeah. As an adult, losing my mom at 22, you've matured, you've experienced loss, you have someone, and there's never one point that you will ever catch in a usemi you never need your parents. I think this is the hardest part. It's hard. It is hard enough to be an orphan.
It is hard.
Ukisikia chini ya kando ya mtu unasikia ana complain about their parents. Unashanganga tu. Unajua saa zingine unajipata
kwa wapi ni complain basi.
Ama unajipata kwa kizungumkuti unasema saizi you wish you just had a phone. Mwambie tu baba kuja. Ama mam
iko hivi
hata kushtaki tu mtu. Unajua sometimes you just want to report people to your parents because
and it's actually yani nilikam realize it's a pity. Sometimes you just want to report the pity.
Yes. Wewe mtoto wangu tu pia.
Mtu akaniongelesha vibaya. Imagine. Sasa unajua ako so mimi imagine mamangu anaweza kusema nini on the other end. Mama anasema, "Sungemfuata."
Yeah.
Like and then you're just like, okay, it won't happen.
Sometimes
let's move on.
We need our parents for the things we want to relive. Like we just want to be babies.
Yeah, we
also.
just want to be babies.
No.
Yeah, we just
want to be. You also just
babies.
someone's child. Wewe unashinda umenifanyia hivyo. Unanifanyia hivyo juu sina wazazi. Unajua ungekuwa na baba yako ungeomba unapiga tu baba yako simu unaambia baba huyu na huyu ananifanyia hivi na hivi. Na mimi hivi na hivi ndio nilifanya.
Ama nataka kumfanyia.
Hivi na hivi.
Najua mama anasema, fanya kwa nini?
But there's so much comfort I found in those people that tested me. Mungu said, because we can't remove God from the factor of grief and the walk through healing. Yeah,
for sure.
Hata Biblia imesema watoto wa yatima,
now
the widows and the strangers in the land, only him protects them.
Yeah.
So kuna situations ulikuwa unaendea una go through, but because Mungu si mtu unaona unasema tu hapo mahali unaenda unaambia Mungu kila kitu, because unaenda kuambia nani tena? Uwezi ambia this is the weirdest thing about losing a parent and grieving and all that. Unaenda unaambia mtu kitu anaenda narudisha maneno na anaenda kurudisha huko on the account venye may understand.
Mimi wacha what nowadays what I don't do. I love, you see my cousins, I love my cousins to death. But mimi kuna vitu zingine nilirealize, napiga story la cousin yangu anataka kunigeuzia kwa mama yake.
Na unapenda. Kuna watu
Mungu wangu.
Kuna watu tu wa fitina. And because they know they have an upper hand, that is just them. So that's the thing, that is just people.
Alafu unajua maybe hata, but nilikam ku understand, maybe when she's telling that to her mother, anapeana kama gist. But you see, maybe my relative is like, kumbe ndio Brenda anafanyia ama anajifanyia. You understand? So it brings a lot of complications. I'm just conflicts. Like, and conflicts. I'm just like, whatever. Maybe you tell us over the years in your grief, some of the things that broke you, some of the things that held you down, some of the things you do when you just have, there's normally that wave of grief. And I normally tell people, there are times I used to walk na Leah tu. Kuna siku nilikaa kwa matatu nikalia, mama mwingine akaniambia, "Sima msichana mdogo." Wanaume siku lakini kwa nasikia kupiga kofi. Like that time I just wanted to talk to my, I was just like, mama wangu yuko. I was like, pole, mambo ya wanaume sikusumbui msichana mdogo. Lakini but I was just like, akipijua tu mama yangu nataka tu niongelesha. So what are some of the things that have broken you, some of the things that have held you down, some of the things that help you when you have those moments of grief, and they're just like, so they're not there, I just have to move on with life.
Some of the things that broke me were unkind humans.
Now wako bado.
Those people are damaging. And the worst type of them is those who cause damage fully aware. just in them to just inflict that on you. I think that broke me a lot. And me, I'm a community project. Mimi nimelelewa na literally everybody. Nikikwambia nimechukua nyumba mingi. Hata wao pia walikuwa wananilea tu their way. Me, I'm a community project.
Watu waliandika proposals juu ya.
Me, I'm a community project. Not like that.
Yeah, I get
But Leah kulelewa and being cared for.
Yeah.
I've been cared for by a
Like
multitude of people.
people.
No.
Yeah.
So, the things I promised myself. One, I promised myself never to be unkind to anyone. Because kindness is, I could be a savage, I could be a monster, but our interaction has not warranted any of that to be smeared on you, you know. And kindness is one of the core things that guide me through this life. I sometimes lose my weight, but in that I keep anchoring. When you go through so much when you're young, you split yourself to one that just never gives a fuck, to one that contains everyone together, and to the one that has to integrate and socialize in the community. I think splitting myself into those different personalities also did help. Yeah, so my personality disorder, iko tu sawa. It's part of survival.
Issues, you have childhood trauma.
Yeah. It was necessary for survival.
When that lady asked me, are you bipolar? Okay, just unajua. And then the last part was, she was my, let's just say she was my employer. I just looked at her and I was like, what? Like I want to tell you mean words. I'm just like this.
Sometimes you forgive the ignorance. You forgive they don't know enough.
And I remember there's a time a certain lady so we were doing a project with her, and she told us this time I was having a breakdown, and she asked me, and she said, you know, you need to have moved on from your mom's death. I looked at her.
That's very insensitive.
Let me tell you, the day I saw on Facebook she lost her mother. Thank you, Kusem. The day I saw on Facebook that she posted she's lost the mother.
You didn't feel like being petty and asking, now I want you to tell me how long
it's ni vile tu atuliacha kuongea. I think sina namba, but I saw on Facebook she's lost the mother. I was like, move on. I was just like, I hope you move on. Hey, my God. I've never forgotten those two ladies who asked me those questions. One, if you're bipolar, and you know you should have moved on from your mom's death. Life has to move on.
For me, the people I can't forget is those people who asked me, kwani mimi niliambia wazazi wako wakufe? Actually, aliniambia, kwani mimi niliambia baba yako akufe?
Na sasa hizo wewe ni mdogo.
You even feel to blame. You blame yourself for your parents,
you can blame
for your
yourself
parents dying.
Yeah.
So yes, there's that, and then what has kept me going on, just knowing that my father loved me,
really?
And that he had to make that critical decision that I had to go. You know, juzi tu ndo nilikuwa na kachini nafikiria babangu alimpeleka high school, alimpeleka boarding school mapema ndio niweze kusurvive. Probably alijua angeenda tu abruptly,
struggle.
Maybe I wouldn't have pulled through to the other side. Yeah. But again, we'll never know because it's just another possibility. So alipeleka tu msichana yake mdogo boarding school. By the time he's gone, nimekuwa ngumu kidogo, unajua. So for people who lose their parents young, I think the constant message that was in my head was just survive. Just survive. Which was done full to. Well, it's easy, survive too.
Do you feel like you're still surviving?
Now, differently.
Differently?
Yeah, because I close myself in the house sometimes. I just cry a good one. Because you never stop. Personally, I don't think I'll ever stop needing my dad.
Yeah, you of course you never.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I still want to.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's a constant. Maybe I'd ask, what does what does healing look like, or what does healing mean to you?
Healing, it's acceptance and consciously choosing to be different every single time. You know you can be mean. You know you can be savage. You know you can be numb. Because grief also takes you through a very numb period of time. You're not there. Uko tu lakini hauko.
Uko autopilot, actually.
So that numbness, you also allow it to you allow things to happen. Healing is becoming aware. It's not waking up one day and we are a different human being. Is the awareness through your stages, your awareness through your relapse, your awareness through your triggers. Yeah? That is what healing is for me. Kujua sasa hizi nikifeel hivi niju either labda niko broke.
Pesa ni sabuni ya roho.
Acha nikwambie, alafu najua as an orphan begging.
Let me tell you, I normally tell people, mimi nikifika mwisho kabisa, wewe jua nimefika mwisho kabisa. Even my first born bro knows.
By the time unaomba mtu
do akiniko, yani
unahitaji, si ati you even trying to take advantage of anyone.
Hiyo jua tu akiniko mwisho kabisa. Ukisikia tu nimekuambia nitumie thao, wewe jua Brenda amelemewa kabisa. Because for me what it taught me is, especially when I lost my dad since I was very young, I can't tell you what my dad, I can't. But you see, when I lost my mom, and even before, and as you've said, I think these things happen for a reason. Because for me, even before my mom died, nilikuwa na hustle. So I think in a way it prepared me kujua tu enye, we jua tu mamako hapa mbele hayuko. So usipojitegemea kitakuramba. So maybe the time nafika nakwambia Leah nitumie thao, imefika mwisho kabisa. Let me ask a question. Have you in your grief journey, have you done therapy? And if yes, how was it?
No.
You haven't?
Yeah. And the reason why I've not done therapy is this. The guidance and counseling teachers, they were supposed to, there should have been confidentiality. Back in school. Then you realize there was never confidentiality. Instead, it was a feedback loop. Yeah? There's somebody who just wanted to know, so the only way they could ever know is by...
But let's say we're different. I feel like nowadays people are quite professional.
Well, and I'm also an adult.
Yeah. So you can feel...
We're not there. I find my own ways of... Because I want to be Brenda. No one unajijua more than anyone knows you. Hapa hivi nje unaweza panga mse, lakini wewe tu unajijua more than anyone knows you. If there's anyone who can execute effective therapy, is you. Ni wewe tu kujibring to a space but unajua how different you are. You have to be awake to the different factions of you and know how you wasamaya kujua mashetani wako na kukunya kahawa na wao. Yeah, and when you are in those depth phases, na ile siku wamesema leo hatutaki tunaenda kupiga kambi, allow them kupiga hiyo kambi.
Yeah, for sure. There are days they just come and
allow them kupiga hiyo kambi, wewe wakuje vile wanadai. Mshaanza ku act out sawa. Sasa unajua tunaishingi kwa dunia ya binadamu. Unajua lazima tukae na watu wengine vizuri. Sasa hebu rudini hapa nyuma kidogo. Hebu endeni mtafute wale malaika. Mwili waeka wapi? Kwa
kama endeni kwa mwingine sasa.
Msema kwa wengine mtamtraumatize. Na mtatuongezea wakirudi watarudi 7 times. Sasa nyinyi wenye mko simsha cause riot mko sawa. And then mwambie malaika arudi huku tu sasa tutapoteza njia.
Yeah.
You have to talk to yourself like a mad person.
Yeah, for sure.
So me, that is how therapy works for me. Yeah, and I think I have always been hands-on with things.
So you self-therapize, if there's a word like that.
Think so.
Okay, that's interesting.
Because also I'm a very deep thinker and I synthesize things in a very comprehensive level. So other therapists, the reason why I'm for therapists because that's how I'm burdened. tunasahau hii
Yeah, for
therapist.
sure. Hata wanaenda.
Ni binadamu kama wewe na mimi.
Unaimagine ukisha sikia mashida za Leah, za Brenda, za nani. Like I'm sure hata you also need to unpack somewhere else. And then also the person you unpacking to, it's a shame.
I think therapists they always have they receive the hardest part of it.
Yeah, for sure.
Because people are just coming to dump on you. You know, it's dumping people do.
You know, I think, and also the thing that we clients, because I'm not a, I think PSCC clients tunakuanga na expectations more
Sana.
when it comes to therapy.
Tunafikiri ngao ni Mungu,
wanafaa
kuna answers.
Hawatupeangi solutions. They're just here to help you so that you can find the solution on your own.
And the weirdest thing is, most of the times you know the solution, you just want it to resound.
Yeah. You want someone to affirm it.
Yes, you know, like either you don't trust yourself that much, ama you want to undaka go ahead for somebody else. You want validation from the other person kwambia enyewe and ufanye. Ndo kikirambiko sema si mimi nilisema. Therapist ndiye ananiambia nitafanya hivi.
Yeah, it's true.
So you can we humans are very crazy. We like experiencing life through the third party, so we avoid accountability. But that's where everything is. That is where all the therapy is the accountability bit of it. Yeah? It's interesting. Let me tell you, Brenda, if you ever get a chance, tafuta watu wanaelenda Maseno Girls between 202 to 206.
If you're out there, Maseno Girls alumni.
Board in primary school.
Yeah, 2002, 2006. Mliteseka?
Sana kuteseka. I think we had wild experiences in school. Wild, Brenda, I am telling you, wild. Wild in the sense that, unajua, I think we just part of therapy. Tulikuwa unavile shule siku hizi kuna watu wa kusweep, watu wa kumoa. Sisi tulikuwa neighbors na Maseno mixed.
Yeah.
So we used to go to the field, we'd pluck shrubs. Tulikuwa tunakuja kutumia as brooms. We would run. Unajua size as a grown up is when you realize, fuck. Oh.
Yes.
We used to go to the river. Tulikuwa tuna cross barabara. Na hakuna mtu aliwahi kidnapiwa ama kuwa assaulted. We used to go to the river. Uko chini. Tunatoka compound ya shule tunavuka barabara, tunapita soko, tunateremka.
Hiyo majini ya shule kama yenu.
Ya river ni maji ya Mungu.
Mnataka kutumia wapi kuosha class?
Kuosha manguo, kuoga.
You will go military camp.
Sino na kwamba wewe tafuta watu wa Maseno Girls wapige story.
If you're out there, please reach out. So I think as we wind up, what are some of the lessons you've learned in grief? What will you tell someone who's going through grief? I don't want to ask if you given another chance you'll handle grief differently, no. But what are some of the lessons, and what are some of the things you could tell someone who's going? There's someone probably who's they've just lost the mother or the father recently, or someone they love.
One, don't look at the end of it at kuna siku ta stop. Hapana. You're being over ambitious. Wewe lia tu. Alafu unajua utalia mpaka some point utoke na kulia. You just be human. Allow yourself to be human. We don't play our capacity as human beings. But you cry as much as you need to, as often as you need to, is the way of the heart unburdening itself. Yeah? It's the gate valve to the soul. That is how the soul stays intact. Otherwise, grief will hollow you to the other side. Yeah? And it's a continuous process. It is a continuous process. You only get better and you learn how to live without them. And no one can ever replace them. Yeah? At some point, you have to allow yourself to pick up yourself and continue with life, because it will be a great disservice to those who passed on. Yeah? We also have duty to them even when they're on the other side. So, find a way of going, because my life will go on.
Yeah, life goes on.
Life will go on with or without you in the picture. You have to remember that. And it gets easier with time. When you relapse, it's like an addict. When you relapse, it is okay. Don't beat yourself too much. Extend yourself grace as many times as you can, and most importantly, be kind to yourself. You're the only one person you have for the rest of time.
Yeah.
Through the motions of life, never do you have you. So the world outside can be wild and unkind, but you make sure you Maya Angelou says you keep that place inside of you pristine. You keep it clean. So no one, not your mother, not your father, has the right to curse you. That is your safe space. Find that room somewhere in your life and always maintain it. That is the place you go to absolve yourself. Even if you've done the most heinous of things, you can go to that place and absolve yourself and you allow yourself to continue. Yeah? Find people, find human beings. If there's anything that life has provided us is human beings. Yeah? Find people who can tether you to the world of the living. A constant reminder that you're not fully lost. You need them. Human beings are the biggest therapists you have around you. So keep people around. And if you're an introvert, try step out of the house more. If you like journaling actually works.
Yeah,
it's just an
does.
account.
It does.
It's an account and it's a way of articulating your feelings. Madogo than you.
Yeah.
Yo madogo than you is explainia mtu. But ukishika kalamu uandike chini.
Hiyo madhogo yenyewe inakuwa something unaelewa.
You're able to dissect it and have a postmortem on it. Yeah. Then again, we also all just experience in life. Don't let grief rob you of other things that life could be. Tell yourself a beautiful story. Delude yourself into a narrative that makes you win. Then anchor your life force onto that. Wajidanganye tu mpaka iko tu sawa.
Lazima iwork.
Inasema kuforce.
Una force issues mpaka iwork. Okay. Okay. Your parting shot for anyone and everyone and everybody. Your
My parting shot, I will never stop saying this. Be kind. Takes nothing away from you. It extends grace to the next person. Be kind.
Keep it trying.
Yeah, and the fruits of the Holy Spirit. Embody them. The fruits of the Spirit are love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, self-control. Against that, there's no more. I mean, I think the Bible has given us a cheat code. If you don't get to remember anything else, remember the fruits of the Holy Spirit. They have a way of safeguarding and retaining your soul and bettering your experience as a human being. Yeah, so be kind. Hata usikumbuke story yote nimepeana hapa hivi. Let me ring at the back of your mind. Be kind.
Okay.
Yes.
So we will remember that in your life there are people who are kind in
And you don't have to be like them. There
are people who are kind. Wah! You will kumbusha the things I've had ever since I lost my mom. You know, naangalia watu wanajiuliza kweli hata wewe you know. But yeah, it's just nice to be kind. It's nice to be kind. I think the part that I have, of course I'll go with be kind, and the fact that you have to, because there are times I really fight with, you know how you said you bring your demons and sit with them and have coffee with them. Like there are times I'm just like, but I'm just like, it's not a bad thing.
Yeah,
Let's talk. Sit. I think for me that's also something I'm taking home with me. Like once in a while, just have a sit down and dissect all these things, and then you just get some clarity.
It's okay to be human.
It's okay to be human.
It's
Totally.
okay to be human.
Sasa, thank you so much, Leah, for coming. We truly appreciate it. And for me, I normally tell people the grief journey. Of course, there's no way you'll heal. There's no way utaniambia I'll be okay without my mom. But something I have learned is I get better in handling her absence.
Yes.
Yeah. There are days I'll just sit down and cry.
And count your wins. I think we
Yeah.
should talk
Also
more of our wins because
it
validates the price. Because those are prices we paid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there are times I'm just like, I've achieved something, I've done something great. And for me, I journal. For sure, I do. And I just for me, what I do is, at times I do like letters. They just tell my mom, hey mom, so today I did this and this and that.
Yeah.
What do you think? Of course, I won't get an answer. But it helps me visualize. I can tell you, I have never forgotten my mom's face. Never. So it makes me, it helps me visualize. I still remember her face, and I'm always like, in this situation, this is what my mom would have done. So I've just gotten better in handling her absence. Healing, we can't heal for sure. I tell people being an orphan is hard. You are too. We go through it.
And they can read those letters because they also help get closure.
Yeah, you do.
Especially when you want to unburden yourself na mtu mwenye hayuko. Waandika tu hizo letters and uzichome.
Yeah.
Because you want closure na unapata closure na mtu mwenye ako in the spirit world utaenda kumtafuta
wapi for sure. Yeah. Thank you so much, Leah, for coming and for sharing your story.
I'm glad.
Thank you so much.
I hope it makes it easier for the next person.
It does.
Yeah.
For me, I've learned some things here and then. I'm just like, I thought, in my head, I'm always like, I've gone through a lot. But you see, when you listen to someone else talk, you're just like, and yeah, you need to be kind and extend grace to people
all the time.
Always.
All the time.
Thank you so much. We truly appreciate. We are done with this episode, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And above all, please remember to be kind. That is our takeaway home from this episode today. Be kind, because you don't know what the other person is going through. So there's no need of just throwing mean comments here and there. Just be kind. Always, all the time. Thank you so much. Remember to subscribe, remember to like, comment, and share. Till the next episode, my name is Brenda Nyambeki. You can call me Shori for Grief. Asanteni sana.